This is Jeff Luzatter here at Keystone at the Crossing for the next inductee, the son of Wayne Johnson. We got Brent Johnson. Wayne, his dad graduated from, or coached at Brownsburg High School with 278 wins in 15 years. And Brent, really appreciate you being here on behalf of your dad. Talk a little bit about your dad's philosophy for baseball, and how his attitude was as a coach.
Sure. Well, I played for him for 3 years, so I got a taste of him firsthand. And other than spending time with him as a kid, obviously he actually started out at Mooresville High School as an assistant to Greg Silver down there, and they had quite a bit of success there in the early and mid '80s. So I, as a young kid, I was hanging out with him, learning his philosophy, and I think the main thing that always struck me about my dad, and I've told everybody this hundreds of times, is he was real concerned about how you did things. The winning and the losing was important to him, but he wanted to make sure that things got done the right way, and I think that was kind of his, I guess, lesson to the kids he was teaching, so it could translate into other parts of their lives, because like I said, the way things got done was a little bit more important to him than the wins and losses.
His education, graduated from Indiana State University, bachelor's degree, 5 sectional championships, a regional championship. Were you on one of those?
I played on the first sectional championship team. But my brother was on the regional team, and that was a lot of fun. And they come kind of close to making it to the final game that day, but not quite.
Now, I know he's not here, but do you think he was kind of rough on his son compared to the other players, or?
Maybe. So I can tell you this, and I've told this story too, there were quite a few meals after games that there wasn't a whole lot said at the dinner table, but we eventually got over that. Ended up having a lot of fun. I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I don't think, matter of fact, as soon as my brother got out of school, he kind of ended up, I think he coached 1 or 2 more years, but I knew that it was important for him. He was tough on us, but it got me ready for the next level too, so good for him.
Now, you talk about at the dinner table at night.
Yeah.
So sometimes he would take business home, or sometimes he wouldn't take business home.
Baseball was 24/7 at our house for sure, and at that time, Brownsburg, when he started coaching at Brownsburg in '87, I think was his first year, they just come off back-to-back state football championships. So, Brownsburg was kind of a football town at that time, I guess, if you want to say that. And, so when he showed up, and a little bit new philosophy, but yeah, it was all the time, and he let us be kids, and back then you played multiple sports, and a lot of the kids that played for him did too. So, but it was a full-time job for him for sure.
Now, I know I list some of his family members here. Obviously, you talk about a coach, and coach doesn't do it by himself, and always takes a support behind him, a good wife and family.
Yeah.
So how about your family?
So yeah, Mom obviously is Saint. Risa is just, she was unbelievably supportive of him. She didn't say a whole lot. I mean the nuts and bolts of baseball, I don't know that she necessarily paid a whole lot of attention to that stuff, but absolutely the support. I know she sat up in the corner of the stands, and because she didn't want to hear people talking about him. She told me that story a few times. She says, I just don't want to hear what they're saying. I'd go down there and tell them what they didn't know what they were talking about. But she's absolutely supportive. They were married, I think, for 49 years before he passed away. So it was. She was always there. And then like I said, me and my brother, and then I had a younger sister that played softball, and it kind of translated a little bit, but definitely, there was tons of support for him at home from my mom. That's for sure. She was invaluable to him. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, if she was like mine, being a baseball freak, I'm sure she didn't miss any of your games.
No. she's still, she won't miss her grandkids' games, so, yeah, absolutely.
Well, last question here. Brent, what's this mean for you and your family? Being
Well,
inducted.
A funny story is, I told my dad, because he was very involved in the golf tournament that raises money. He helped Ray every year with the memorabilia and stuff. And so I would always go down and play with him. And, since every year we take 1 or 2 teams anyways. I told him, I don't know, this was 10 years ago. I said, one of these days I'm going to get you in that Hall of Fame. And minus the expletives, he told me that I was out of my mind. And, I just laughed at him. And a couple years ago, or a couple years after that, I said it to him one more time. He looks at me and he goes, Brent, you just don't understand. He goes, that Hall of Fame's not for people like me. And so here we sit today, and I guess I got the last laugh on it.
Well, the 208th inductee, Wayne Johnson. Brent, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to your speech tonight.
Okay, thank you. All right.